All right, hello everybody. Teacher Elayna here, and today we are going to talk about extension in a mock class and a real VIPKID classroom, specifically related to lower level students, and then we'll do in the second half of this something for upper level students as well. So for lower level students, you want to make sure that you're using a really simple extension for your student. They certainly don't have the language to absorb a lot of information as you're giving it to them. Now, an extension is defined by VIPKID as either a review of material that is not included within this specific class or bringing in extra material to supplement the student's learning. So what does that look like with a lower level student? Great ways to extend with your student are by using your rewards, by including colors and numbers. These are often things that your student might already know outside of the classroom, or you can just sprinkle little bits of new learning throughout the class. So if I'm giving my student a cupcake, good job, Flower, you get a cupcake. Cupcake. Very good. 1. I would get the student to repeat that number. Now, fast forward later on in class, now all of a sudden, the student gets her 4th cupcake. Good job, Flower. You get a cupcake. 4. And that's going to give the student that opportunity to get these tiny little bits of learning throughout the class. You certainly don't need to keep your extensions for the end of the class. And actually, that's something I would really not recommend doing, especially for a mock class, because in the event that you run out of time, you're not going to have enough time to do that extension. And you definitely want to make sure you're extending all throughout the class. Another great extension with lower level students is to teach them colors. So as an example, I might teach them the color yellow. Yellow. The star is yellow. Yellow. So as you can see here, I'm not using a lot of language, and I'm definitely giving the student the chance to repeat everything that I'm saying. A super inappropriate extension at this level would be something like, wow, Flower, look at my beautiful star. They hang in the sky at night, and there are millions of them. I love to look at my window and see all the stars. What do you think? And your student will look at you and think, nope, I have no idea what she's talking about. So you definitely want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. Use simple language, especially when you're extending with a student, because yes, an extension technically is incidental language. It is only not incidental when you are strongly supporting it with TPR, props, and slow and simple speech. Make sure not to extend too much within a class, but absolutely feel free to extend maybe every 2 or 3 slides, depending on your students' abilities. Let's talk about upper level extensions, and even extensions that you can do with a higher level 2 student as well. Great extensions are getting your student to spell words on a whiteboard, getting them to be engaged, maybe have them use a target word or a sight word in a sentence. For example, if I've got the word these on the screen, I'll lead my student into spelling it. Okay, Flower, T. Now, oftentimes, I actually find that students don't know the letters in the alphabet that well. They might call them by their phonetic sound instead of the name. So this is always a great way to check that learning as well. And just to make sure that your student really understands what it is that spelling is, and to reinforce the learning of the alphabet. A great extension when you're talking with upper level students is to bring information into the classroom about your own life. That is really what sets VIPKID apart from other students and other classes. We can tell the students about ourselves and bring that into the classroom. I'm from Canada, so I'm always bringing up my Canadian flag. Do you know what country this is? Have you ever been to Canada? What do you know about Canada? Oh, I might show them a map about the country that I live in. Maybe zoom in here, show them a little bit closer where I live. And you can definitely feel free to do that. We're going to talk about Canada a lot in my classes because I want my students to be able to relate what they're learning to me, and then I'll also ask them about their lives in China. You know, if we're talking about flags, I might also bring in some pictures of some other flags around the world. Or if we're talking about food and cultures, I'm going to bring in some food that we eat in Canada and compare that to the food that they eat in China. Don't be afraid to push the boundaries of your classes just a little bit to encourage your students to speak. Always encourage that independent output with that upper level student. And you really want to be asking open-ended questions to get your student talking and keep them engaged through the class. I hope that this has helped you to learn how to extend with lower level students. Yellow! And with those upper level students, what are 3 things you know about Canada to really make sure that your student is able to be active and engaged in the classroom? All right, I hope you have fun extending with your students. Good luck on your mock class, and we'll see you later.